priority. Your names change often, and you keep on falling.
And actually, this is a picture of Kimber and Adrian.
Yeah.
So, like, they are in character.
Whoa.
They're perpetually
another
in
face.
And
character.
another face. This is the only time that happens.
Hey! It's not just Kim's face.
There's a horseshoe in the background.
I'm always surprised by the titles of episodes.
But this is the one that changed after it went up, right?
It did. Does anyone remember what it originally
No.
was? Because I don't.
I remember I saw this like a day after it came out because I
Yeah.
was busy. That
It was
week.
called something else, and now I don't.
Is this the one where I made myself...
What's it called now?
Yes. Oh, you should talk about that.
Okay, so in a different take, not this take, I started doing this thing with breathing that I learned in my Linklater acting class, and I actually started hyperventilating, and I was connecting to a memory from childhood, so that's Stanislavski right there. Look at me being all pretentious. But I was thinking about a time that I got really anxious and stressed because she is so passionate about the people that are being depicted, even though there's a 10-year time gap. And the fact that Bertkey is just brushing them off makes her actually very irritated. And I was just like too into it. And I started hyperventilating and I gave myself a little bit of a panic attack and I had to like take a break after that take.
That was exciting, and it was it was a really interesting take to see. Like it was very well done, and it was an amazing acting moment. But we did decide to not go with it because
I think it was too intense.
It was too intense.
Yeah.
And
I lost I lost what it actually meant because I was actually having this physical reaction to what I was saying and what I was remembering. So I lost the character motivations when I was just going for the physiological. So, hey, what can you do?
We're acting.
Acting.
God.
Acting.
Yes, we covered that.
Where's
Kevin,
that
I love
Patrick
you.
Stewart gift?
Oh, this scene.
Oh, and
So hard to film.
So let me tell you a story. So this scene was shot in a forest
Oh,
on the
I
side
forgot about that.
of a valley, and at the bottom of the valley there is a small town. And
I've
With
heard
the church.
the story.
there went with the church.
It's this story.
And so they were having a church picnic, and they were playing Christian rock. And if you know about, like, bowl acoustics, that meant that from this little church in the bottom of the valley, there was all of this, like, Christian rock broadcasting throughout the entire scene. And so we actually had a couple of different times where we tried to, like, go out and find the source of the music before I finally sent, I sent my dad, who was on set that
He
day,
like
because he
climbed
was
over a
playing,
fence twice.
yeah, and he was playing one of the cannibals, and so he went out and found the source of the noise and figured out when they would stop, so we actually changed when we were filming this scene so that we could redo it there.
What I also like about this scene is, like, you can see the soldiers. They're not very far away, but these two are shouting at each other.
So like,
You're doing some real
Also, this scene had one of my favorite bloopers that you'll see in the blooper reel, the gag reel, that Alex Nolan was trying to direct us, and she failed to get out of the camera's view before a take. That's just really fun.
and so there's this bit where he turns the camera onto Cameron, and Cameron's just like politely going along with his scene.
Because he can't see Alex, he's behind him.
And I'm just like,
Maddie is the military.
And just scampers off. And I was just like,
scampers. Oh wow, I scamper now.
you kind of scamper.
Yeah, I do.
I would
Well,
describe
that time you
All
scamper.
right,
You don't normally scamper.
I can scamper.
Like, it's a thing that you do occasionally.
It's better than Prancercise.
This is more visceral.
Prancercise?
Yeah, it's exercise by prancing.
Alright, let's get out of here.
That sounds like my kind of exercise.
It's
If
it's
I
a
were
thing,
to
it's a thing that I've
exercise.
never done, but I've heard about.
Hey, it's feet.
Vega!
But was she still trying to find out where
She's in this whole take. This is one of the first Vegas scenes, and she was like, I want to try an accent this time. And so she does this whole one with the accent, and I was like, no.
And also, this is the scene where after she and I walk off, we were having a little dance party, and we're distracting and loud.
And Kevin is trying to have this, like, dramatic moment, and he's just like, both of you, shut up!
We had to actually, like, suppress laughter the entire time. Like, I was just standing there, like, doing breath control and, like, whispering song lyrics to myself so I just, like, wouldn't be laughing, and it was really difficult.
How can you stay so cheerful right now?
Whereas I'm like doing my serious dramatic acting and
I have personally
Welcome
bastards.
to television. Also,
At least we were all wearing pants.
That was a questionable
yes,
thing.
it's true. I mean, the camera went low enough that we had
Yeah,
to
you
be.
only had you were wearing pants during all the scenes. Out of the scenes, you were sometimes not wearing pants.
I was never wearing shoes. I never wore shoes. I should have been wearing shoes.
Yeah.
I had this whole thing where I was gonna go and find a military something store, surplus store, and go and buy myself a pair of combat boots, like regulation combat boots. And that never happened, so I was barefoot the whole time, and I'm like spinning myself around in this chair and like pretending to use my arms.
Probably turn it off, Trace.
It was silly.
I think I wore different shoes, different takes, because I was wearing Cameron's shoes, so the ones where you could see my feet, and then wearing my shoes the other times, and we just, like, forgot to put me in the shoes I needed to be in. I think
So
that
you
happened a
and
few
Cameron
times.
were sometimes wearing each other's clothing.
Yes.
Woo woo! That's what
that
I'm hearing.
That was accurate.
Oh, and let's see if we can spot the bit where, right in this clip, when you can see that Alex is, yep. Hey, look, it's me. That's definitely not
Trace.
Oops.
And I was like, I don't remember filming any of this.
That was me.
We only filmed this 3 times, but Cameron and I were both, like, really out of breath after filming this.
Oh my god, this was fun because we just like took off.
This is also the one where Fish broke the cool thing.
I broke the cool thing, but thank God it was just the cool
Yes,
thing.
you did.
So, people are also, it actually happens to Charlie, but, so, you have Matthew over here playing around with all of these different, like, bits of equipment, like, loading them around, and we aren't working with any real science equipment, and that was what happened to Matthew.
And then there's a really long take.
Really
of
long
running.
take of running.
Man, it was so much fun, but it was also like I was slower than everyone else, and I was in the middle, so I kept on holding like Harry back. And
And I love that you can see her shadow in that. I think that's really
I
great.
totally planned that.
Well,
As
we
I was
cut off
running
with
for my
We
life.
always had a conversation at the bottom of that hill, too. We were like, what happened to Charlie? What's going on? Oh my goodness. And then it was cut out every single time because Abby turned off the camera before we started talking.
and then there's that crazy cliffhanger.
That
Yeah,
I laughed
speaking
at
of
because
Alex Nolan and terrible cliffhangers.
I laughed though because I was in the first like story scene of the next episode. That was also just that one was really fun to film because we were just goofing around off camera the entire time. So I'm laughing at the cliffhanger because I'm remembering me dancing and singing every line that I say.
but I really like that cliffhanger. Like that whole scene where they're in the lab is such a great one because it's like where because you have the like it ended up looking exactly like I pictured it. Like very early on I was
Right.
like this is exactly what I want End Times to look like, and that ended up being exactly my image of End Times with like all of them shouting over each other and all of the different stuff happening, and the choreography with having to do have you see him with the
Unbroken beaker.
the beaker, and then him having to like hide it and then bring the camera back, and we see the one that we had broken on the floor, and all of those little bits of choreography that ended up looking very cool and
So sweet.
Right.
Like you did
And-
such a good job with that one.
That was
Yeah,
fun
it
to
was
see.
it was a pretty tricky scene to film, but yeah, it turned out really well.
Kevin, where did you hide the beaker?
Oh, it's just like
He ate it.
like I picked it up off off the table, and then I just put it on a different part of the table, like way off to the left, I think.
Oh, okay.
And sorry, I don't want to be super pretentious, but I'm going to be. It's not a beaker, it's a flask.
Terribly sorry.
Yes, it is a flask.
I thought you
It's true.
didn't like science.
I'm not good at it, but a beaker is the
He's
short
right,
thing
though,
that's like
yeah,
round.
okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, beakers are like straight
have, like,
cylinders. Flasks have necks.
I left ICS halfway through chemistry. I left at the semester break, so like I never finished chemistry. I took biology twice.
There's,
The
that's
other
also
thing
one-
about that cliffhanger, by the way, is that we got the scripts in 4-episode blocks.
So 13
And
was
so,
the one they didn't
when
have.
we were receiving the scripts, that cliffhanger applied to the cast as well. And I remember being very angry when I was
These
reading
guys
through my
didn't talk
script.
to me for like a week while I was finishing the episode.
I was just like, Alex, you let my character be kidnapped and then you just left it. What happens, Alex?
You can't sit with us!
Yeah,
What
I
happens
was sitting
next?
with this gang for a while. And also, that was the one where I was hiding in the cupboard. There was like
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you were.
yes, that's right.
there was a little room off to the side, and I had to do this whole thing where I would close the door and then I would open it as soon as they left that room, so that I could watch them go down from the hill from the window.
That was fun.
I broke
Running. I really enjoyed running because it was just like all this
You
like
actually
careful
like
like
running.
choreography and making sure we time it right and spend enough time there and then like get all the lines in and then make sure I didn't accidentally film Sid's head and just the feet and then I just gotta run.
Right.
That's all I had to do.
Just run.
And I'm like making sure my jacket doesn't fly off and like, oh no, I'm in front of camera and he's gonna run into me, like I'm tripping over these roots. There was not
I
much
am
acting
so
happening in the
glad
running. They
that
were
I
just
was not
running.
just I am so
And
glad
I
that
mean, you
was
can
not
only
this
really
scene.
see your feet,
It was
so
a
how
really
much
fun
do you have
scene.
It
to
sounds
add?
like fun. It also
It
sounds
was like
terrifying.
easier than other scenes like stumbling and
Like everything was
Just
easier than
Everything
stumbling.
was easier than stumbling.
That's the only thing that
Well, yes.
Okay, so that was episode 12.
That was episode 12.
Yay!